Chris Tarrant announced he will return to radio after a decade away from the airwaves and will host a one-off Christmas special. He will be taking over Boom Radio, which is a national station aimed at baby boomers. The former Who Wants to Be a Millionaire host will present a 2-hour show on Boxing Day at 4 p.m. This will be his first show back on air since leaving Capital Radio in 2004 and his first program since a special on BBC Radio 2 back in 2013. The live broadcast will take place at his home in Berkshire. Listeners will hear some of Chris's favorite music and the program will feature some special guests. Speaking of his big comeback, he said, "I just suddenly fancied doing a radio show again. Fans will hear some of Chris's favorite music and the program will feature some special guests." Speaking of about the radio station, Chris, 77, said he likes the guys at Boom. "A lot of them are old mates, lot of people I've actually worked with, and I know," he explained. "I really like the station's instincts about the playing of music, so it's not this constant rotate, 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 which drives me as a listener up the wall and was beginning to happen when I left Capital Radio." Chris began his career in 1984 at Capital Radio. 3 years later he presented The Breakfast Show and was the voice the nation woke up to for 17 years. After leaving Capital in 2004 he returned to TV and presented the iconic ITV show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. One of the reasons he agreed to present the Christmas show is because it doesn't play the same tracks on a daily basis. Chris admitted that this is something he finds frustrating with many of today's radio stations. He commented, "I just hate that thing where you hear a great tune that you haven't heard for ages, and you think, oh, how nice to hear this. I haven't heard this for years. And if you're driving around, you've got the radio on for a few hours, and you hear it again 7 times before tea time, and you think, no, it was really nice to hear it once. I now don't ever want to hear it again in my whole bloody life. And I think Boom Radio do have a nice instinct for not doing that." Chris added, "They're basically all radio people, and although I haven't done radio for a long time because it doesn't really fit into my lifestyle anymore, I just enjoy radio and I enjoy radio people." Phil Riley, co-founder of Boom Radio, said, "I've known Chris for years, so when we called him up to ask if he fancied doing a one-off for us at Christmas it was fantastic when he said yes. He's such a radio legend we know listeners will love tuning in and hearing him again." Chris Tarrant will be on Boom Radio at 4 p.m. Boxing Day.